Today we're going to try and have some fun with Phyrexian Obliterator. We're playing Phyrexian Obliterator Fight Club. Phyrexian Obliterator really good against red decks because whenever a source deals damage to this creature, that source's controller sacrifices that many permanents of their choice. So if we play this, the opponent's probably not going to want to attack into it, and then we go ahead and make them deal damage to it by fighting one of their creatures with our Phyrexian Obliterator. Why are we playing Phyrexian Obliterator right now? Well, Eighth Drift gave us a land that just makes our mana base even better for this quad black mana symbols. That way we can consistently cast Phyrexian Obliterator and then hopefully follow it up with Bushwhack. This deck is pretty much the quintessential mid-range deck. Got a mix of removal, card draw, and efficiently statted creatures. These mid-range decks tend to load up in removal, making them really good against red decks as well. But the kind of domain Beanstalk deck is kind of what we're trying to dodge. Mid-range decks are kind of not really well suited into it, so that's kind of the matchups. That's what we're looking for, and hopefully we'll get to pull this off and have some fun. Let's hop in some games and see how we can do. Okay, this opening hand looks pretty good. We have Glissa, can draw us cards. We have Mosswood Dreadknight. Got a bit of a curve. We do need to draw another land, but we are playing 24, so hopefully that'll work out. I almost forgot to mention, if you enjoy videos like this, consider subscribing. Well, looks like the opponent is on the Raise the Past deck, which is a bit of a problem for us until we can find Scavenging Ooze, because we're going to put a bunch of these cheap creatures into the graveyard and then reanimate them all at once. Looks like they are the Aristocrats version of the deck, where creatures dying trigger their Blood Witch. That is also a little spooky. Do we just kill the Blood Witch, or do we run out the Dreadknight? I think we go for the removal and the Blood Witch. We'll wait and to see what the opponent plays, but I think that's gonna be our plan here. Just so that they don't have a bunch of creatures to go ahead and work with there, but I think this is just another one of those little bit of a rough matchup for us here. Alright, we'll play down Glissa so that if the opponent doesn't block Glissa, we'll get to draw cards, and then we'll hopefully get down Phyrexian Obliterator, which can try and put a little bit of a block on our opponent here. So perhaps we'll play the Dreadknight and get rid of the flyer so they don't get to increase their speed, because that is going to be relevant because this Gas Guzzler has a sacrifice effect. The Obliterator, it does represent a lot of damage if we can get to it. I don't think we're going to be able to stop them picking up speed because they have so many creatures, so maybe we shouldn't try and stop what is going to happen anyways and try and actually force some blocks here. And then play out Obliterator. So we put a 4-turn clock on our opponent. Trample, can't be chump blocked. Though the opponent, they are in the colors of removal, so it could get rid of Obliterator. But I think our opponent's deck is probably a bit more oriented to comboing off with a massive reanimation of all the tiny creatures. There you go. Yeah, really hard for us to stop them from doing that unless we drew our Scavenging Ooze, which would allow us to exile cards from graveyards. Sometimes you just don't have it. Another Obliterator is an interesting one, like an interesting option here. Alright. Well, I'm gonna swing with both. We can kill the Blood Witch in response to blocks, or we can kill a Last Elf Core or something. But we want to try and get rid of the Blood Witch if they're going to get a bunch of triggers from it. Interesting. Well, it does make me wonder what they are. Well, if we kill the Lasso Core, that does also stop those death triggers, and it keeps our Obliterator alive, and it tramples through. So I think we'll do this. It's not perfect, but... And then we'll kill the Blood Witch in the first 3. As part of the first 3, we'll get Gnawing Vermin down there. Get rid of the Snarling Gorehound, I think. And then we'll keep the Death Trigger ones at the end, and maybe that's good. But we will see. It's going to drain us for 3, I think. This Blood Witch is a pretty strong card. Well. Oh my goodness, I can't believe Raise the Past is going to be in Standard for so long. If you don't have copies of it, I feel like it's a safe card to craft because it's going to be here for 5 years and it's going to be continuously doing things like this. I just think we are dead. We'll go next. I'm pretty sure our opponent had lethal on us there because they could sacrifice things to Bart, and they had both Elasil Core and the Vengeful Blood Witch, and it seemed like they had 6 creatures, so that means they had enough to deal 12. Oh. Okay, Artifact Reanimator. We removed one of their reanimation spells, but Duress isn't going to grab their other one, so they have to ready. Oh, GG. It seems Duress is still good enough to be playing in the main deck currently in Standard. So, turn 1 Duress again. We'll see what happens. We got removal, we got Preacher. We'll see if we can mid-range our way through. It looks like the opponent might be on an Azorius Omniscience. Nope. Bant. Ancient Cornucopia. We'll get rid of the Cornucopia. We'll grab a Swamp. I was thinking next turn they might hold up their counterspell. And so we want them to counter the Preacher, and then maybe we can resolve the Phyrexian Obliterator. I don't know. I feel like running out the Scavenging Ooze would just get it killed, and then next thing would get countered. But perhaps I think they have enough removal and counter spells to make this very difficult for us. But alright, we'll play Cottage. Maybe they get rid of the Ooze. This reminds me of the Doppelgang deck we were playing before. It involved 3 steps ahead and Ancient Cornucopia. You can copy up Ancient Cornucopia, do a bunch of different things. Pretty fun. I feel like this is going to die, but or get countered. We need the opponent to tap down before he casts Obliterator, and then we also need them to get rid of their Get Lost. Okay. We're making some progress on the opponent's interaction, but no tapping out, I see. Alright. Honestly, I think getting Sheoldred down and sticking it seems a little bit better than Obliterator. So Obliterator, you're gonna have to go into the counterspell for us. I'm sorry. I know this deck sort of built around you, but we'll let you take the counterspell, and hopefully the opponent will finally tap down. But if they tap down, they're probably playing something alright. Oh, it's just attacking with Anchorage. Alright, in that case, we will crack a map. We have nothing to protect our Sheoldred. Opponent probably has more removal, but Mosswood Dreadknight, super good, because it keeps coming back. They don't have the removal before the upkeep, so we do drain them for 2. We're playing 1 of Sheoldred. If we're playing mid-range, it makes sense to play Sheoldred. Ooh, Extravagant Replication. So they are playing a Bant, kind of copy your stuff deck, but definitely a bit different than what we were playing. Do I even play the Dreadknight? Because I could attack with Cottage. We'll do this. Land drop. Do map. Into another land. Alright. Not bad. But exile the opponent's Extravagant Replication or the Get Lost. Probably get rid of their Get Lost if we can. I don't think the opponent is playing Reanimator or like reanimation spells for their Extravagant Replication. If they're playing what we played, they might be playing Storm Chaser's Talent to get back. Get back the removal spells. We'll do that. Play Mosswood Dreadknight. Play Mosswood Dreadknight. Hope they don't have another Sunfall. We will have removal for their incubator token. They do have anchorage as well, so we have to fight through a few creature lands. That's the route our opponent is going to go to defend themselves. They need to exile the Dreadknight, otherwise we get it back. They flip. And mapping the incubator. That's a good sign. That means they probably don't have removal for the cottage, and we should be able to get through. Good game, opponent. Well, we didn't do the Obliterator thing, but we managed to mid-range our way through. Here comes the cottage. Get rid of the blocker, and that should be guaranteed lethal. Not an Elspeth Smite will stop us. Boom. GG. I was gonna say this video won't stop until we get an Obliterator trigger, but honestly, I remember playing this deck, and I had mono red just scooping. They would not let Obliterator do its thing. They would just scoop. So we'll see if we can make it happen. No guarantees. We'll definitely get some Obliterator action though, in terms of it will be on board and threatening. Molt Tender. Uh-oh. Our opponent is Roots, I believe. Opponent is probably playing Golgari, Insidious Roots. Oh, nope, it's the Golgari Beanstalk deck. Well, we lost. They played Beanstalk. That's not good. And we're struggling to draw lands. Surprised the opponent didn't mill a card with their Molt Tender. Maybe they were only at 2 lands, and so they wanted to not try and mill a land, but still doesn't. Oh god, there's no way. Double beans. I don't think we can mid-range our way through that with our honest card draw. Oh my goodness, no lands. We'll exile a Molt Tender so that they don't get to have it in the graveyard. I don't know why they didn't tap that to mill a card, because that could put creatures in the graveyard, which could discount their other creatures, but where is our third land? This is one of the decks that I've been meaning to try out. Up the Beanstalk with the creatures that get discounts for having creatures in your graveyard. And so that allows you to trigger Up the Beanstalk easily. Scrap Shooter. Don't remember that one, but... Creature of the Schism, or Sentinel. I think we play Sentinel just in case we need to crack maps to find lands. We do need to find a swamp so we can turn on our verges to add black mana. So next turn is probably going to involve us doing that, cracking swamps and making things happen. We have Gix's command, so if we get to 5 mana we can make them sacrifice a lot. Please don't. Please let the Sentinel live. Sweet. Alright, we'll take a land, even if it's tapped. We will go for the throw at this. And then attack in. Well, we can attack in with both realistically, because I don't think the opponent is playing some sort of combat trick. I don't think there's a way for them to pump up their Molt Tender. Opponent drew kind of a rock here. They had 2 Beanstalks and then no gas. Alright, next turn though we're going to start trying to exile things from the graveyard, because this is where they turn the corner. No. They did the turning of the corner. Well, Sheoldred should be really good. Preacher will dump. Gix's command, not bad either. Anoint Scout. Ugh. No. Graveyard. Nope, keep. Okay, we still can't play our Obliterator. Swamp? No. Wow. Okay. Well, cancel. We will see if they block. And we can pop it up 2 more times, so they do have to... They have to respond to it, potentially. Alright, they're going to double block, which is interesting. I will probably get rid of enough to keep it. Oh. Keep our life total up and exile as many cards as possible. Now they have 2 creatures in their graveyard. They only have a 2 mana discount. Still don't think that's good enough. Kinda wish we played Sheoldred, but I'm hunting for that 5th land. Roll 2. We can do it. We can do it. We can do it. Where is that? That 5th land. Oh, it's the land we needed as well. Sweet. Thinking. I mean, do you want to trade? We shouldn't have done this. It's gonna go into their graveyard, give them more discounts, and they can chain through more spells potentially, but keeps their life total low. And then Sheoldred, please no removal, please no removal, please no removal. You're at 8. You can't cast spells or you draw cards and lose life. Make it work, Sheoldred. We can do it. I believe. I am very curious to see, come this 31st, if anything will get banned. They said Standard was only getting bans once a year, so it is very interesting to see if they will stick to that or if they feel like this is an emergency in terms of the cards that are in Standard. Oh, that's a good time. We're gonna do the thing. Sacrifice 4. 4 lands. And it lives. There's no way you sacrificed your beanstalks. That's crazy. Oh, down to 4. We have Obliterator to discard to a Haunting Marauder, so I think we're fine if they cast one. They have to get rid of Sheoldred, otherwise they're going to lose to the draw trigger. Scrap Shooter is not going to do it. It is a nice body, but it's GG. Oh my goodness, we did it. We got the Obliterator trigger and we beat Golgari Beans. Alright. This hand kind of clunky, but we only have removal on 2. Dimir, where is all the mono red? Where is it? I missed the mono red time slot of the day, I guess. We'll keep Bushwhack as a spell right now. I was thinking about cashing it in for a land, but we have so many already, so I'm kind of glad we didn't, because the opponent is going to Deep Cavern Bat away or go for the throat. So this Bushwhack means that we can get it back eventually. Well, maybe not if we can't find some non-land cards. I think I'm playing a full 24 lands, though. I think I saw some decks that were playing 1 or 2 less. Because you have Bushwhack, you kind of cash it in for a land, and so it's kind of like a tap land in a way. 1 mana to get the untapped basic. And so it functions similarly to a tap land in your deck, so well, my request to draw a non-land was denied. Let's just hope we can keep things going. We're gonna wait until they like activate their Restless Reef and then kill their Deep Cavern Bat and get to go for the throat and then kill the Reef. Doesn't look like we're gonna get that to happen. Instead, I will Deep Cavern Bat, cut down the Deep Cavern Bat, get my go for the throat back, maybe, unless counterspell. Negate? Main deck negate? What is happening? Alright, well, we have the sources that we need to cast Obliterator. Counterspell? Oh, we made it. We played the waiting game. And we drew into Obliterator. Oh, what the heck? What is this? That's a few lands. 2 Deep Cavern Bats keep pecking us away. If one's not good enough, go for a second, right? They have removal. Card draw? Don't mind if I do. Why? Duress. None of these matter that much. Anoint's better. Obliterator 2? We have Restless Cottage, so we can start putting in work with that. It's another reason to get rid of the Anoint, because Anoint can kill manlands really well. Reminds me of March of that one. March of the March from the White March Expo from Kamigawa Neon Dynasty. Was really good for getting rid of manlands. It was 1 mana remove a manland, and I loved it playing it in my Jeskai Chandra extra turns deck. It was silly. But it was just very nice that you could hold up 1 mana to protect your Planeswalker, because if the opponent goes to activate their mainland, you just march it. It also was just an insanely flexible removal spell. Also, you could pitch your Zergo and Ojitai to go ahead and can you stop hitting me? Can I draw? What is this? This is insane. I can't. We've done the impossible. I mean, we get to keep our land. We're going down 5 and then we're going up 3, so we're going down 2, down to 7. No. Ah. Ooh, I should activate this before I die. Probably still die because I can't count, but okay. Brawl. This has got to be some kind of cruel joke. Seriously, what is going on? This is insane. How many lands must I draw? I probably actually had a way out of this if I held up Restless Cottage as a blocker and played Mosswood Dreadknight. No, I died in the air. Yeah, I would have died in the air anyways. Well, I don't want to talk about that. Okay. Let's make it happen. We can do it. I'm just gonna forget that last match happened. And everything is awesome. How many lands? I feel like I drew like 3 cards that entire game. High noon. High noon? That's kind of gross. Each player can cast more than 1 spell a turn. Counterspell every single point. No? Removal? They must have a Day of Judgment planned. Well, creature. Whoops, I wish I held off playing my land until my second main phase. That was a mistake. Now, if I play out a land here, they Sunfall. Or sorry, if I play out a creature here, they Sunfall. I honestly think the right move here is play out nothing. Might be wrong about that. I might be wrong. But my gut is telling me no, don't do it. So I'll try it. I again played out my land before my second main phase, so that's that one's on me. We'll play out another creature. Our hand is chock full of creatures at this point, so yeah, Duress seems nice if we can get rid of a sweeper, but it's gonna cost us a turn. The Stoic Sphinx is a problem, but we have Gix's command, so we can try and resolve that. Sacrifice the highest creature, put 2/+1 counters. We don't target your creatures, so the hexproof doesn't matter. Alright, and they can't cast any more spells this turn, so we just swing in. We have map tokens, which is nice because it gives us another thing to do with our mana. Opponent unfortunately has Demo Field. Get rid of our man land. We're down to only 1 green source, but that's probably fine. Down to 4. We're up to 15. Put a map token onto our Creature token here. Cut down doesn't seem very useful. It could be played against the anchorage, but I don't think we need to worry about the anchorage right now. I think we got a Sphinx problem and kind of a racing against the clock problem. Opponent thinking about using High Noon, it seems. They get rid of High Noon. That's opened us up to Duressing, but that also opens them up to double spelling. I will cast Duress. Split up. Quick study. Okay, we'll get rid of that. They do not want to add any pauses. Go in. That seems good. I will play a land. And since they got rid of their little toy there, the High Noon, we can play out Sheoldred. And they have no instant speed of removal, so they're at least going to lose 1 life. They need to top deck removal, otherwise Sheoldred kills them before they can draw a removal spell. Youch, that's probably going to be death. Alright, Sheoldred locking in another win. This card, still good. GG. Alright, that is going to do it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed. I put together this deck to hopefully do the Phyrexian Obliterator things. It's nothing super unique, but I didn't expect to enjoy it as much as I did. This deck just genuinely impressed me with how fun it is to play, or just like kind of satisfying. It's not particularly flashy all the time, but it just kind of trucks along, and I won more games than I thought I would with this deck. Just playing magic, playing creatures, removing things, drawing a card here or there. So if that sounds like something that you might enjoy, I think this deck actually is pretty fun. So anyways, thank you so much for watching. Have a nice morning, evening, night, afternoon, wherever and whenever you're watching. Take care of yourself. Ciao.